This is the Iron Trader. It is Friday morning, last day of the week here. Wow, what a really good trading week. I mean, two-way trades and everything. Crude and natural gas and technology. Just an absolute great trading week. Okay, so as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. And remember, the rig count will be out today at 1 p.m. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, buy the ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, let's just see what's going on. Okay, so we put in like a topping tail indecision candle here. Okay, so what do we have? Red, green, red, green, red, green. So we got to see if this can hold it. Now, you can see where it went up there today, but the key is going to be right there, that 8 SMA, 86.13. You have to close above. Okay, that is going to be the very, very key. Now, you can see here how we have these basically trading boxes going on here. Okay, so this was the high back here in the day, 79.29, and we were trading here all the way down to this low 75.54. So what we're doing, we're trading this box level right there, sideways action, and then we went up to another higher high of 80.85, came all the way down here to a low of 76.79, and then we were trading this box. Okay. Then we went up to another level, which we had 83.12, and then we came right down to this level, which was 80.30, and then we were trading this box. Then we have a nice good rip up right here. This was the last week's action. And now look what we're doing, we're trading another box. It's just a nice higher high. That's all it is. So you can see the levels here that we're going on up here very, very nicely. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to watch this key level here. This is that 8 SMA, very, very crucial, that 86.12. Now, again, if we can get above that, then the next target we're going to do for resistance is we want to look here at the 86.38, and then we want to look at yesterday's high, 86.63, okay? So now, when we look at all these candles, what we want to do is watch the top of this one. This is 87.22, okay? We have 87.10, and then we have your 86.96. Now, these are all resistance, but you can see here where this one really set the precedent here, where that one held the resistance here on the top, besides a spike high, okay? So this is what we're going to be looking for here if it rallies right on up here. So we can just follow the candles up, and then we have this nice breakout at 87.63. We close above that. Then here's your target. You're going to go 87.83, and then we have 88.29, and then this is what we've been looking for, 89.85. We'll call that $90. Right above that, what we have is 91.23. You have 91.88. 92.43, that's very, very key level. And then we have your 95.03, which is 95. So our two big targets are going to be 90 and 95 here in the near term, if it keeps right on going. Now you can see here on the weekly chart, last week we had a nice green engulf candle, just huge, very, very nice. And this week here so far we have inside candle. So basically your high and low is within the inside of the high and low of the previous week, but we got to see how it actually closes here, okay, this week. Now, again, we're in very good shape here because we are above the 100-day and you're above this 8 SMA here. And if we had a little more juice, that 8-day could have crossed that 100-day. I think it's going to be a matter of time. And look how nice that is. See how it is all the way on up. Very, very nice. Now, RSI looking good here. Your MACD. Green is above your red. That shows that you have positive momentum there to the upside. Very, very nice. Now, here on the daily, RSI, well, we're going to be hanging around that 70 level, and that just shows that you got relative strength here in the crude ski, okay? That's all that what it's saying, okay? Very, very good, strong. Now, your green here is above your red. That's all you need. Even though it comes down here, it's touching it just like it did here. Just look at what happened once it started popping back up again. We had all that nice green. So we're looking very, 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 very good. We just have what you have sideways action. But for a guy like me, a trader, or any out there who are just pure traders, this is just like heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just long, short, long, short, long, short all the way through here. Okay. So let's look at the downside. So obviously you want to watch today's low so far, which was 85.40. Okay. And then what we do is we can come right over here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 85.09. And then we can look at yesterday's low, which was 84.84. And then we'll come right here to this candle. You're looking at 84.55. And then we have Well, we can go to the left here, okay? So what you want to do is you want to look at the bottom of that candle. That's 83.85, and then here's the key level, which is going to be 83.64. But you can see how nicely the 21 days up. Look at your 50-day crossed above your 200-day. Very, very bullish. And now look at this price channel. See how this price channel now is moving up here? So it's going to catch right here, the bottom of this candle here eventually, okay? And then it'll level off, just like what we have here, where the price channels going up. Now, price channels, I think, are put them on your charts. I just say, to me, I've used the Bollinger Bands, I've used clouds. They're just not as accurate as price channels. Everything is very bright and clear, okay? Now, one thing you want to know about when these blue lines are the price channels is when it starts getting to the outside, okay, it's going to eventually want to pull back in. The same way with this 8 SMA. When it starts getting away from the price gets away from the 8 SMA, it wants to come back in. Get away from it, wants to come back in. See how that wants to come back in? Just like it did here. It's got away from the 8 SMA, and then it wants to come in. Now we're hanging right in tight. But really, we have some really nice sideways action here. So we have to see, like, realistically over the weekend here, what's going to happen here. If there's going to be, a war. Let's see, that's what happened last week, is where we had this big run up where they're talking about, maybe Iran was going to attack Israel, stuff like that. So that's where you have the big run up. Plus, we have the seasonality here. So realistically, any kind of if the crude does sell off, it's a buying opportunity. Okay, that's right, especially now because you got that summer driving coming here. You got to go all the way into Labor Day, and then you got that hurricane season, which goes all the way through September. Bad for people, good for oil and natural gas. Okay, so always kind of remember that. But right now, what we want to do is we want to watch on the upside is this 8 SMA. We like to close above that. If we can, we just follow the candles up here until you hit your big target of 87.63. On the downside, just watch the candles all the way down, especially here the previous days. Okay, so right now today we have an inside day. Your high and low is within the inside of the previous day. So always watch the previous days, high and low, 86.63 on a high. The low was 84.84, and you close at 85.59. So we got to see what we can actually pull off here today. Now, again, on a Friday, we might have some sideways action. The rig count is at 1, but that doesn't usually create anything. You might drop 2 rigs or add 2 rigs. That doesn't really, give any kind of a juice here to the crude oil, okay? It's basically what's happening is going to be the news now, which is affecting the old crude and supply and demand here, okay? So right now, watch that 8 SMA on the upside, and then watch yesterday's low on the downside. And then the previous day, if that's lost, we have a target right here of your 21-day. On the upside, that 8-day, we get above that. We can follow the candles up, and we have a big target, 87.63. All right, let's see what old Matty Gas is doing. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now, we can see here that yesterday this red candle it held the 21 SMA here, very, very nice. And right now what we have is we have a little bit of a lower low. So yesterday's low was 1.754, and today's low we had 1.743, but you're right here in this range, okay? Now, again, if that is lost, what we want to do is just look to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 1.70, and then look here, that's 1.686. There's your gap, and then look to the top of the candle, 1.675. There's your fill, okay? So gap in a fill, we got to see that might even do it. I don't know. And then to the bottom here is this 1.64 area, came right off the top of that candle. That's going to be next. And then we have your retest here at 1.589. Now, on a weekly, this is very key. Okay. You have 1.73. Right now, natural gas is sitting at 1.754. You really want to hold this 1.73 here by the close of today's market. Okay, that'd be very, very key. Now, on the candle wise, you have higher highs and higher lows. I'm not crazy about this red candle. It'd been nice if this thing can go all green, but we got to see how it all shakes out today to get bullish. Now, your 8-day was doing very, very good. It leveled off, and then it was rolling up. Now it's leveling back off again. But you really need to hold that 1.73. Otherwise, you're going to start retesting all these other levels here on the downside. Okay, so that's what you have to be very, very cautious of today. Now, what we want to watch is this right here. 1.763. The price needs to get back above that. Very, very crucial. Next resistance is going to be 1.79 here, and then we have your 8 SMA here at 1.81. very, very key. Okay, so all your key levels, your simple moving averages, are like clustering into one level here. Okay, so that it was running very, very good, but then she came right on down. Now, if we look at this, okay, what do we have here? So you had two red candles, topping tail, and then a red candle, topping tail, red candle, topping tail, red candle. Okay, but then we had that run up in there, run up in there. So when Thursday hits, okay, and you get that EIA report, it seems like it just wants to sell right off into that. Now remember, we had a pretty good. You had a build on the natural gas. You just don't have this time of the year. The seasonality just isn't in play, and natural gas just isn't really what they call cooperating, as I say, to go higher. Now, like that being said, you can use the KOLD. That's what I scalped yesterday. Got 2 nice points out of KOLD on the short side. Okay, and I use UNG there on the long side. Easy way to trade, in and out, big volume, no worries, okay? But there's many ways to trade it. You can do, futures, options, however you trade, the charts are all going to be work the same, okay? So right now, what we want to watch, you really need to close back above this 21 SMA, just like we did last Friday. Here was last Friday's candle. You had the topping tail, red candle, and then it turned green, it made an indecision candle, and that's where it was, stuck right there, okay? Then we rally red on up here, and then we peaked out and it came down. So let's see if we can do this here again, okay, today. If not, then you're going to retest all these lows. But what you want to watch on the upside and for the closing, that 21-day, very, very crucial. If you can at least get above that, then you have your 50-day, and then we have your 8 SMA here. Very, very nice. But then what we want to do is then we want to look, if you can get above that, then we'll come to the top here. This is 1.85. And then we'll look to yesterday's high, 1.89. Then we have right here, 1.92. And then we have your retest of 1.943. Okay, so we got to see how this is all going to shake out here today. But really what you want to do is the same way with crude. Just trade the range both ways. Don't have an opinion. Say, oh, I know this is bottom, it's going to go long. No, you don't know that, okay? The same way, I don't know what's going to go short. Just trade what is in front of you here, not what you want. That's the key. Okay, RSI here, well, that's looking good. Your MACD, your green is above your red, that's looking good. This one, the green is, it's working like a circus monkey. It wants to get it above that red line, but we got to see if it's going to go. If it does, then it's very bullish. I just don't care for that red candle, but we have all day to maybe change that to green. Okay, let's take a look here on the hourly and the 4-hour. Now, when we cut the timeline down here to an hourly or 4-hour chart, see, you look at these charts here, they say, well, it doesn't look that bad. Okay, so what we have here, we have like a double bottom situation going on. So we got to see if we can hold it. Okay, so that's going to be the key. We had a 1.76. Now we had a little bit lower there today at 1.74, but that's still a double bottom situation if it can hold it. That's the key, and then rally right on up here. But when we look at this chart here, it's still not looking very, very bad. The key about it is you're just at the lower end of the trend right now, and then we could rise up here today. We got to see. But right now here we have this double bottom situation. The key is, can it hold that, keep that price channel now sitting at 1.74. If that's lost, okay, say, okay, that's lost, then what we do is we'll come right down here to the next channel here, okay. Well, first of all, we can always look here. We'll look at the bottom there. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, we look right there. Okay, so you got 1.736. That's going to be your next level. Okay, and then we come here, you have 1.71, and then we'll come all the way here, you got 1.70. Okay, so these will be, if this here is lost, then we can just look to the left of the chart, and we can figure it all the way down until you get your retest of 1.686. Okay, so, but right now here, this W pattern that was in here was working very, very good. Okay, there was the end of the W pattern. Okay, worked very good and came down, retested it. But then we look at this here. So what you have is you have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Okay, yeah, it's not really copacetic, as they say, but that's pretty much what we had. It couldn't hold that level. That's the key. See, it just couldn't hold this candle here in the top of this, okay, the neckline of that W pattern. And then she just came right on down. Now, again, we got to see if it can hold that 1.74. If it can't, then I'll be jumping in that KOLD again, and I'll be taking a short ski all the way down to here and maybe possibly all down to here. Okay, so don't worry about it one way or the other. Never have us say I can only trade it long, because that's not going to work with natural gas. They don't call this thing the Widowmaker for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it put a lot of guys in the old grave. So you got to really, really, have a two-way trade, and then you don't have that Widowmaker factor. I think the missus would like that. So anyway, here, what we want to do is just watch this key level here today, that 1.74. If that's lost, then we're going to come right over here to this 1.71 level and then possibly retest down to 1.68. If we can rally up here, then we can start heading right back for this 1.83. And this is the level what you really want to get back up to. That's that 1.89. And then up to this level, 1.92, and then 1.94. Okay, we've got to see how she shakes out today. Now I'll be back here at midday trading, and we'll do a little update here on natural gas and crude oil, and then we'll throw something else in the mix. And thanks for watching.